All right. Hey, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday, guys. Super excited to be here with you guys. I have a few things. Let me see real quickly, making sure everyone is able to get in okay. Let me just see. Hello, everyone. Okay. Let me get us live here on the social, and then we'll get started. Give me a quick second. Want to make sure we're live streaming also into the free Facebook group for those who didn't want to pop in live. Let me just get us over there, and then we'll get started. Say hi, guys. Let me know you're here in the comments. Say hello. We have some live sessions. Really excited to do some live coaching today. Hope you guys are excited. Let me just pop this over here. Get us live in the group. We'll be good to go. Hi, guys. Hi, Hillary. Hi, Bonnie. Hillary, I hope you're feeling better. I know you said you had a sore throat this morning. Sydney was telling me you weren't feeling the best, so I hope you're feeling better or get better quickly. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay. All right, I'm just sharing this over into the group. We're going to go ahead and dive in. We're going to get started with some live coaching session. Just let me get us over here, which I think we're good. I think we might be live. We're going on Zoom, guys, but we're live streaming into the group. Okay, so I'm just going to pull this up. We are live over here. Want to make sure that I see questions coming in the chat as well. All right, hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So this week on the PE Live Show, we're doing it a little differently. We are doing a little bit of Ask Ann Anything. We're going to do some live coaching. I'm really excited to do this. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to get started. We're going to do some live coaching. We have a few people who have gone ahead and put in a live hot seat with me. So we're going to do that. For everybody else, welcome. If you did not submit a live hot seat question, you can still drop questions in the chat here on Zoom, and you can drop questions in the Facebook group comments also. So if you're streaming from Facebook, hi Facebook, if you're tuning in over there, drop your comments, your questions below, and I'm going to answer them right after the live hot seats. If you're on Zoom and you have a live session, stay put. We're going to pull you in here one by one in a minute. But anybody tuning in on Zoom that did not submit a live question, just drop your questions in the comments, and we're going to go ahead and answer those right after. So happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you guys are having a fantastic start to the new year. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and start pulling in some live chat. Now, as I call your name for your live hot seat, I'd love if you could turn video on. You don't have to, but I would love to see you as we talk. Okay, and I believe, Hillary, you said you had to cancel because your throat is sore. So are you just tuning in? You can also post question in the chat as well if that works for you. Totally up to you, whatever works for you. Oh, you're okay. All right, perfect. So you're going to be up. Hi, Star, over on Facebook. Okay, so let's go ahead. If you want to, let me see if I can pull your, let's see. If you want to, Hillary, you can go ahead and pop on video if you would want, or did you just want to chat? It's up to you. Let's see, totally up to you. And I'm just going to pull everyone in if they want to come in. You guys don't have to have your video on, but you're all here.
And it doesn't look like there's a camera option here. There's nothing that I see.
Okay, let me just check. You should be able to turn your video on.
Hey, Ann, can you hear me all right?
Hi, I can. Hi, Sydney.
Okay. Hey, yeah, it looks like we just see you and we do not. I'm looking around.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why. Let's see, we have it set. Let me just double check.
I know, don't you just love tech?
Yeah, I mean, it's set to allow everyone to turn their video on. I don't know why it's not.
You may have to make me a panelist.
Oh, maybe. That's weird though. Did they change it? Maybe they did. Let me see what I can do real quick. Let me see if I can do that. Yeah, I'd like to see you guys on video. That would be cool. You have to be a panelist, Bonnie said. Okay, guys, I'm not really good with video. I mean, with text, so give me a second because I have to figure out how to do this.
All good.
Let's see. How can I make you a panelist? I don't even see an option to do it.
You should be able to click on my name. It's HGTEMP is what I'm coming in as. And you go, there's like a little.
Okay. It's over. Okay. It's over.
Yeah.
To the side. There we go. That should work maybe. I did make you a panelist. Okay. Yay. Oh,
There we go.
Okay. I'm going to just real quick make everybody a panelist. How about that? Then we don't even have to deal with that later. So what you guys have to do, if anyone is unaware, you have to make them a panelist over on the right side. You can't click on their video thing on the thing. So good to know. Yay. I don't know why you have to do that.
Hey, I think we're in action.
Yay.
Let me get my set up here.
Better. Okay, very cool. Okay, so Hillary, you're first. You're first up, and I know you have a little sore throat. I hope that gets better. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like really quickly, and I hope it's just a little sore throat with low cold season or something.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you were able to make it. Because you had a question. You had said that sales was kind of like your focus, right? Something around sales. So if you want to share with me your sales question, the thing that you want to focus on that, and we're going to dive into that a little bit.
Okay, so sales is not hard for me when it's offline. So I can, everything that I used to do was it was not virtual. It was all offline. It was in an event setting. I could work a room like there's nobody's business. Okay. However, we're now virtual. So, I launched my membership in January in a non-virtual space. And then we pivoted in 48 hours in March to completely virtual. And so the online space and marketing and sales is very different than what I'm used to. So I just, I still have yet to master that. I'm still a baby. I'm still in baby steps in mastering it.
Okay, I love this. So you're obviously kick-ass over offline, right? We just want to bring that online. I love that. And I love your confidence around sales. You are right. It is entirely different to bring it online. We have a lot of clients that we have shifted, obviously, as you can imagine this year, from completely offline to online. And they're like, look, I know what I do. I know my stuff, right? Like, I know this stuff, but like, how do you do this online? What do you feel has been the biggest struggle with this? Like, do you feel like it is around bringing in like an audience? Do you feel like it's just like, how do we pull the audience into conversation? Or
yeah, I think we're actually starting to see a little traction now with all the stuff that we've done, but a lot of like for example, our Instagram isn't converting as much as I would like. And we have some great content. We have, we've batched it out where we have different themes, whether it's thought leadership, giving out information to little quotes, to promoting our membership, to promoting the free events we have, the mentorship, etc. But I think it's like showing the value, because we have our value is insane. We have award-winning coaches inside, and we put it at $7,500 value, but it's actually a lot more than that.
Yeah.
At just $80 a month. So it's like, how do you put that out there so that people can be like, okay, no problem, I want to buy that now?
Yeah, couple of things. So, and do you focus primarily on Instagram, or you're doing Instagram and Facebook?
We do both Instagram and Facebook, and we started a Facebook group, a free one, but it's like time to put towards both Instagram and Facebook. I just don't have it, and neither does Wendy.
Yeah, gotcha. So I want to answer your questions, but something that we do is we use Instagram as a lead generator to fill up our Facebook group. Just want to put that out there as kind of a thought-provoking idea, just because the group on Facebook and having that community is really a place where you and your other experts, your circle of people, get to build relationship and position yourself as authority. That's a really important thing. Instagram's a little more like laid back in the sense, right? Like it's hard to build a relationship and get a conversation actually started because of how it's structured. So we actually use Instagram as our lead generator, and we pull those leads into the Facebook group. And that's where we can really build relationship and position ourselves as authority. So that's one little tidbit. But to scale back and kind of answer your question around, kind of getting people to see the value and moving people. So we have these types of people, right? We have people in our community who are, let's say they are consumers. They consume your content. That's great. But if they're not engaging and they're not buying, well, they're not invested. They're just interested. That doesn't really put money in the bank. So let me ask you this. Do you feel like the people, because you said you're putting out a lot of great content, which no doubt you're probably putting out, you might be even doing more than you need to. But the content that you're putting out, do you feel like people engage with it, or do you just feel like you're spitting out a lot of content and that's kind of it?
Some of it they engage and some of it they don't. I mean, I think it's a little trial and error. It was in 2020 to kind of see what content resonated. We do look at our stats and our insights and see where people are engaging and where they're not, and then we'll shift our focus.
Okay.
So I think what we're doing is they're building blocks, obviously, to where we want to go. And it does take time and you need the patience to, make it happen. But if there's I don't want to say a magic pill, or if there's just a little thing that could just tweak it, that would make it move a little faster, that would be awesome.
Yep. Totally. So a couple things I want to bring up here, and I think everyone's going to really appreciate this, and then we can really kind of specify this a little bit more for you, Hillary. So a couple things when it comes to marketing. We have marketing and we have sales.
Yeah.
Two different things, right? We have our marketing, where this is where we're putting out our content. This is where we're building relationships. We're putting out engagement stuff. We're nurturing, showing our value, things like that. That's great. That's marketing. That's usually your content, your lives, stuff like that. Then we have sales. These are the relationships, conversations, and actual conversions that are happening. So it's how do we put out the marketing side of things to create the conversations and conversions? So here's what I want you guys to be thinking about. When you are putting out your content, I want you guys to really be thinking about 4 buckets. This is something that I've done a little bit of training on, but I want you guys to think about this and then assess the type of content you're putting out currently. So one of the things that we want you to put out is educational content. And I really recommend that you guys focus on 3 to 4 pieces of strategic core content per week. You don't really need to do more than that, right? We don't need to over deliver or be overly available. We want to create curiosity, and we want to create an interest for people to be get out of consuming so much and get into conversations with us. Mm-hmm. So the first bucket that I want you to think about is that educational bucket. And this is where you want 90% of your content to do the heavy lifting for you. You want 90% of your content to do the work for you, to get the potential lead to being a buyer and being bought into what you do without you ever even having to speak to them. So the educational piece is your methodology. This is what we do. This is what we believe in. This is what we teach. This is what we help our clients with. It's educating them and getting them to buy into your way versus how they're doing it now and versus what they've been taught previously. That alone is super game changer, because the more content you put out like that, people start to build versus an interest. They start to get invested in, I want that. I need to learn that. This sounds so good because what I'm currently doing isn't working so well. This could be a great way. So now they start going from interested to a little bit more invested in what it is you're teaching. So it's that educational piece of showing them, I believe and I stand behind the work I do so much. And I want you guys to understand why. So why is your work so important? Why is your methodology the way that they should be considering? That is number one with your content. So you really want to look at, are we talking enough about that? Are we sharing that? Are we creating live and written and visual pieces of content that really show people that this is why what we teach is so important and it's not just a strategy, right? So we want to be thinking about that. And then what we want to be doing is the second piece of content that I want you guys to really be thinking about and creating here is I want you to think about inspiring content. And I'm not talking just like, yeah, they could be quotes, but I'm not really talking about, oh, I'm going to create other people's quotes or share other people's tips. I'm talking about creating branded quotes that are of your own that truly represent what you believe in and what you believe is possible for your people. So I'm talking about creating content or just a statement, a phrase where you're like, like I put out things like, for an example, I put a post out, it was a quote a few weeks ago that said, you are not raising your prices so that you can make more money. You are raising your prices so you can make a bigger impact. That's my quote. I created it. I came up with it. Something I believe in. When you create things like that, it creates a movement. People around you are like, oh my God, because even if they don't fully understand or agree, they want to. They're starting to get inspired by you. So a lot of marketers in the industry today are going to teach you to lead with the negative, lead with the problem. I'm going to teach you to lead with the positive and lead with the possibility for your people. That way you inspire them and you get them kind of getting their wheels turning, and you're not really having to do much. You're just speaking what's true for you. So that's that second piece. The third piece of content is engagement content. And Sydney knows all about this, right? She's our community manager and she's in the group and she creates the engagement content. These are the questions that we might ask. These are the probing things that we might ask. And we're not just asking questions for the sake of asking questions. We are genuinely trying to get to know every single person in our group on a deep level so we can turn around, create content and serve you and provide you guys with resources that are going to actually help you move things forward. So it is important. The other side of it, engagement content, is that you do want to pull in your community. And this is why our group is so important. You want to pull a group of people who can collectively come together, co-create, collaborate, connect. When you create a community, you're starting a movement. And this is so important. And this is also something that really, Facebook really is kind of moving into that platform of groups and community, right? Through their surveys, that's what they found people love the most. And that's where people spend most of their time. And so what we want you guys to be doing is how can you get people kind of coming together and doing that in a community. So, maybe driving those Instagram people over to your group and then sharing things like this, it makes it a different feel and energy in the group. And then that final bucket, the one that everybody is like, this is the one we all want to master. That final bucket is the activate. How do we take that consumer to actually wanting to work with me? And this is through the 3 pieces that we just shared, but then you bring in an invitation. Now, the invitation could be, you could share what you do and how you help your clients and why it's magical, why you believe in it so much. And then you could say, listen, if this is an experience that you want to have, I want to invite you. I have 4 spots open for blah, blah, blah. And I want to invite you to come explore what it would be like to work with my team and I to help you ABC. And then you insert all those sexy benefits and outcome and transformation. And I think that's where there's also some work that needs to be done there with a lot of people is that invitation of really making sure we're not focusing on features. Nobody cares about that we're really focusing on the benefits and the transformation that is possible for you when you come and work with my team and I. And so you want to extend those invitations that are strong, confident, and they're really focused on sales. So we're not inviting people to discovery calls. We're not inviting people to a strategy or a coaching call. This is a consultation call to discuss working with my team and I to help you ABC. And the more invitations you start putting out, because a lot of the times you're not putting out enough. And so people are like seeing little things, but we talk in my community all the time, 16 or more touches. What does that mean? That means one person needs to hear the same thing from you 16 or more times before they're, on average, going to pull out a credit card and pay you any amount of money. So we want you guys thinking, how often am I promoting and extending invitations? How often am I telling people I have this thing open? And am I using these 3 buckets as I do it? Am I bringing in these pieces and elements of content? Am I doing that? This is going to increase engagement. The other thing I want you guys thinking about, and then I'll open back up, Hillary, if you have some more specific questions. The other thing I want you guys thinking about is I actually want you to spend 90% of your time where you are getting eyes on that one piece of content, right? I recommend everybody goes live in their group every week. We do it here every week. We give invitations all the time. I recommend you go live every week. If you have a podcast, great. If not, maybe start one or get on podcasts. And I recommend 90% of your time is getting people to the one piece of content that tells them what you want them to do. And then 10% of the time is actually only creating content. So for an example, we spent 90% of our time and effort getting you guys to this one show right here. And I'm only going to spend 10% actually creating it. Because if people don't see it 16 or more times, then you're just creating a whole bunch of stuff. But how many people are actually seeing that stuff? So it's like I tell my high level clients, less is more. Create just a few core pieces per week and then put 90% of your energy on getting people to it, right? That's going to be critical, guys, for you, because you want to decrease your effort, but you want to increase your results. The way to do that is not more stuff. It's not working more. It's not doing more. It's not creating more. Okay. It's about getting enough people to see things. And so that's one part. The other thing I want you guys doing is focusing on connection. If you could pull people into a group, you can literally put a sales system in place where as soon as they join, you hit them with those 16 touches within a couple of days max. Like that can happen, and that conversion can happen so much faster. Does that make sense? Hillary, what are your thoughts, questions?
Yeah, so I'm going to be honest with you, and what you're talking about in terms of like, I'm not a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to be a coach.
Yeah.
I have a mentorship platform.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 7-8 figure women who come in every week. We have 10 chapters in 10 cities across the country and Canada. They talk about their trials and tribulations of what it's like to be an entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur. But then we have quarterly coaching sessions with award-winning coaches in 7 different aspects of business.
Yeah.
I don't have a Facebook community because I have a Mighty Networks community. I don't.
Perfect. That works. Yeah.
So some of this stuff, it works for coaches. It doesn't work for what I do.
Okay. Have you tried it, or why do you think?
Yeah. So we do all this type of content.
Okay.
We do inspiring, we do educational, we do questions, we do all of that. One thing that we did do this year is we opened up our community to have a free community and then a paid community. So there's 2 options.
Okay. So what do you think is not working? Like, for example, for what I just shared, right? Because we have coaches, mentors, consultants, we have VAs, we have product-based, we have all kinds that use us because the strategy and principle is the same, even if your niche is different. Where do you feel like what we just talked about doesn't work, or why do you think it's not working?
Well, because we don't have like a we're not developing a signature program. We're giving you access to people that you wouldn't have access to normally. And learning from people that you wouldn't have access to, and that would cost you thousands and thousands of dollars in a very short period of time.
But it's still a paid offer, right?
It is. It's a membership, but what I'm kind of getting from you is more like, this is what coaches should do. That's kind of what I'm hearing. And that's what I've heard a lot from other people.
Yeah.
So
I think that what I teach applies to all. Like I said, I have clients who do I have a practitioner, a spiral practitioner who uses these strategies, right? We have a branding expert, a brand strategist. She's not a coach, she's a strategist who uses this. We have product based who use it, right? It's not about the niche. It's about the principles. And the principles are building relationships and positioning yourself so that people see the value in what you do versus what other people do. So what I would want you to be thinking about is, if you're putting out content, but it's not creating buyers, something there is wrong, right? Like there's some kind of gap there. If you have a program, whether it's a signature program, it's a membership, doesn't matter. If you have a program where you're charging people to access that value, right? You need people to understand why it's valuable. And the way to do that is getting in conversation with people. You don't need to be a coach to do that. If we look at sales, right, you got to look at the psychology of sales. And the psychology of sales is that people buy from people, and people buy from people they know, like, and trust, period, right? And if we go way, way back to like centuries ago, when people used to sell vacuum cleaners or things like that, they knocked on your door. They knocked on your door. You saw them face to face, right? Like if we go way, way, way back, sales is built on connection and people connecting with each other and building a relationship.
Yeah.
So even in the online space, no matter what, you guys, anyone here listening to this right now, no matter what you're selling, a product, a program, a membership, you still have to build a relationship with people, and you have to position yourself and the value of your program. And one of the things I wanted to share with you, Hillary, earlier when you mentioned, like, we want people to see the value. We have a thing called the tip in the scale. So here's what happens in sales. No matter if you're shopping at Gucci or Louis Vuitton or Walmart, it doesn't matter. The way that sales psychology works, we do not go to Gucci and say, oh my God, I can't believe your purse is this much compared to the one at Walmart. We automatically look at Gucci brand. We trust you because they stand behind their product so much so they're not lowering their prices to get Walmart's customers, right? Like they're not doing that because they stand behind their product and they know the value of it. So when we're talking about tipping the scale in any industry flat, the way that sales psychology works, if you want people to look at your product or program and not even flinch at your investment and automatically be like, I know the value is there, well, we have to position the value. So what happens is we put a low price on a massive amount of value. Well, that is confusing because if I went to Gucci and you're selling, let's say, a purse for $40, I'm going to question what's wrong with that purse. I'm going to ask, why is this so cheap? Is what I'm going to wonder. Same if I went to a car dealership and they took a $100,000 car and said, yeah, we're going to sell it to you for $10,000. No way am I buying that. Something's wrong with it, right? And so, and again, if I went to Walmart, I'm not a Walmart shopper, but if I went to Walmart and they had a bag there that was $3,000, I'd be like, you're out of your mind. Not because of the price, but because I would say, I don't think that's the value for you because that's not what you sell. I don't come here for that value, right? Yeah. This is sales psychology. Why can one person buy a bag from one name brand for $thousands more, go into another store and be like, no way am I paying thousands for your bag? Why can we do that? It's sales psychology. So what we have to do is tip the scale. This is where relationship building, positioning comes in, and your content. And what we need to be looking at is how do we tip the scale? When somebody looks at your program, they're going to look at two things, the price and the value. And what you want in your audience is value shoppers. You do not want window shoppers, price shoppers. You want to have value shoppers. Window shoppers and price shoppers are looking for bargains and deals or free. So when you put a low ticket and they don't even buy that, and you might think, well, God, it's so low. Why aren't they buying? Look at the value though. Why aren't they buying this? Because they're not even looking at your value. They're there for a bargain or a deal. They're not buying. They're not investors, right? Okay. And so what we want to do is attract into your audience value shoppers. These are people who are looking for community. They're looking for elevation. They're looking for big transformation. They're looking for influence. They're looking to put themselves in the room with high level, high vibrant leaders, right? Yeah. Hence the reason I was offered to join a coaching program, very similar to the one I'm in with my multi-million-dollar, well, billion-dollar now mentor. And this was much cheaper. But that person wasn't putting me in the room with other billionaires like Bo Eason, Gary Vee. So guess what I did? I paid thousands and thousands of dollars more to get in the room with billionaires versus getting cheaper deal over here. Okay, so because the value was so clear, I did not care that it was going to cost more money. So we have to tip the scale, guys. Number one, I always say you need to raise your rates. Because when you guys have something high value and you don't put a higher price point on it, you are attracting window shoppers and price shoppers. You want people that are investing, and they are investing in people, connection, community, elevation, transformation. And these are people who want to get in the room with people smarter than them. And so what you need to do is charge to attract those people. The other side of this, you got to be behind it. You got to believe in it just as much as that price says. And you can't waver on that when people say no or don't buy. And then you have to know how to tip the scale so that when people look at what you're offering, right? When people look at what you're offering, they're not looking at the price. They're going, holy cow. Yes, I want that experience. Yes, I want this in my life. Oh my God, this is amazing. How do I get started? How do I have this experience? So in any niche, the principles for sales psychology are the same. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps. Well, that's, I mean, it's, we actually went from last year to like $36 a month or $350 a year to completely going from that to now $80 a month or $800 a year. We actually increased our prices because of that, because of the psychology of what you just said. So we did increase our pricing to this amount, and we even added more value. But
I mean, I would raise up your price, because here's what you want to do. And the other thing too is talk about transformation, because I think it is one thing to get in the room with really great people, but what is going to be the transformation? Like, what am I going to get out of this? Because can I just go listen to this person's podcast for free? Can I just go to their website and read some of their blogs for free? Can I go research them on Google and get all kinds of free videos on YouTube and stuff from them? What am I going to get from being in this space and paying for it? So not just are you going to get these experts, but what transformation am I getting by being in the room with these awesome people? And then raise that price and then position and sell that transformation. That's going to make all the difference in people starting to see what it is you're offering versus, hey, we have this low ticket membership and you can come in and get access to these 7+8 these amazing leaders in the industry, these amazing humans. You can come get access to them, come join. People really look at that as like, yeah, that's great, but like, what am I getting from it? What am I going to walk away with? What's the transformation if I come spend this time?
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Yay, you're welcome. Such a good question. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think that was like super helpful for a lot of people tuning in. Amber, if Amber is ready, you are up next. And let me see, I think Amber, your question was around finding clients who want to engage and commit. And I don't know if anything I just talked about helped with that, but what is your specific question?
I think a lot of what you had talked about was super helpful in that question. I think it's just more, my question is more how you use Instagram or Facebook to find those ideal clients that are going to like pay into your value and all that kind of stuff.
Totally. So there's a couple of things. There's a couple things you can do, guys, when it comes to finding higher level clients. So it first does come down to your messaging and your price, because those are the first two things that people see when they connect with you. So if they generally see you kind of all over the place with your messaging and your niche, and like one day you're a coach, the next day you're a product based, then you're like teaching people how to market, and then you're teaching people how to like, real estate. What we want to do first, and because your profile is kind of the first thing they see, so that needs to be dialed in and spot on. Here's what I do. Here's who I help. This is what I help you do. I help ABC do XYZ. Done. So simple, just like that. And then all your messaging reflects that, right? So that's what you talk about. If you're a sales coach, you talk about sales. If you're a Facebook specialist, you talk about Facebook, right? If you're a social seller, you talk about social selling. So what we want to do is get those dialed in. And then whatever the offer is that you're selling, raise the price. I know this is scary for so many people. You do not need to be in business a certain amount of time. You do not need to have a certain amount of clients. You do not need to have a certain level of experience. You need to be behind your product or service. That's all it is. If you're behind it, people will follow that. Everybody starts at ground zero, right? When I first started way back, I had a VA agency. I started as a $6 an hour VA. And then I started an agency. And in that agency, I had to prove myself, right? But I started where I was at and raised my price to bring in higher level clients because I was behind my value. So first, that's the first two things people see. Once you get out into social media, what I recommend, there's so many different ways you can search to find your people. If we're looking at Facebook, we're looking at going in other groups that we think have our people in there. This could be competitors, so people who do similar to you, they might have your people in their audience, or this could be somebody, the group host, the person who owns the group could be your ideal client. And or it could be people that complement what you do. So maybe they don't do exactly what you do, but they have your people in your audience. You want to go get in these groups, and you want to go in and network every single day for 1 to 3 hours a day. You can batch that into about 20-minute times is what I teach my clients, is to batch it out in about 20 to 30 minutes a day, a few times a day. That way, you're not just sitting in groups all day. We can't be operating our business that way, right? This does not require a lot of time. But what you're doing is you're going in these groups where you think your people are, and you're building authority, and you're getting visibility on your Facebook profile. That is absolutely a must. The only other way is to run Facebook ads. So if we're not running ads and we're doing organic traffic, you optimize your Facebook profile and you spend 1 to 3 hours batched in 20 to 30-minute times throughout the day. And what you're doing in those groups, you're just connecting. You're going in and answering questions other people have posted. We're not going and sending spammy DMs. We're not going and sending weird friend requests to people we don't know. We're not pitching. We're not promoting. We're not, not following any of the people's rules in the group. You're literally just scrolling, answering questions really quickly, joining in conversations already going. And these don't even need to be related to what you do. The goal is not to get a client. The goal is get eyes on your profile, because the hundreds or thousands of people in that group are also going to see your comments, not just the people that posted in there, right? Other people are going to see your comment. We get about, anywhere from 20 to 30 friend requests and Facebook group joins by doing this consistently Monday through Friday. So if you want to grow your Facebook group organically, we're talking 20, 30, 40, 50 people a day, or even 100 a day. You just add on. Maybe you only start with an hour and you bring 10, 15, 20 people in a day. You have to build that momentum. Guys, it takes about 2 to 3-ish weeks of doing this Monday through Friday. And then all of a sudden you see friend requests pop over. You see people request to join your Facebook group. You see people send you DMs. Hey, so happy to be connected. And then there's an overflow that starts to kick in. So the more consistent you are with this, the faster and better this is going to work. And then once you start filling up your Facebook group, you pull those people into conversation, you connect, you get to know them, and you move those conversations, and they gradually go into sales, right? So what we want you guys doing on Facebook is not so much of like pitch, throw out 50 pieces of content a day. Like that's not really creating sales. What's creating sales is people seeing you as authority, and then you pulling them into a conversation, connecting with them, and then they're very happy to start to buy from you. So that's on Facebook. Principles on Instagram are the same. You can head over to Instagram. You could do hashtag for either your ideal clients. So using keywords, if you look for virtual assistants, you could type in virtual assistant. The other thing is you could go look at things they're interested in. So maybe they are interested in certain podcasts, or maybe they're reading certain books, or maybe they're participating in certain things. And then, of course, the other thing is looking at your competitors or people who complement you, who's in their audience. Now, the other thing with Instagram, it is a hashtag social platform. So 90% of its function is about hashtags. So what you want to do is when you're seeking out these different types and categories of people, go look at their hashtags. What hashtags are they using? And then you need to put those hashtags in your posts in the comment section so that it starts to reach all of those people. The average engagement on Instagram has been 4 to 5% for a couple of years now. We average 10%, and I've held that this entire time. I'm only posting once or twice a week over there consistently, but I'm using my hashtags. And then I'm making sure that I use those hashtags that are up to date and relevant with what my ideal clients are using, attracted to, and what my competitors are using. So the principles are really the same. And then on Instagram, once they start connecting with you, it's really just about, again, pull into a conversation. Hey, Amber, super excited to be connected with you over here on Instagram. I really want to get to know you better. Listen, I have this awesome free group. We teach you how to grow your sales, scale your business, and we help you really become competitionless in the industry. We'd love to have you come over. I think you could be a great contributor. Would you like the link? Everybody's like, absolutely. 90% of people are like, yes, because Instagram is so DM friendly. So a simple message like that, boom, now we have them over here to the Facebook group where we can really build a relationship. Does that make sense? So Typically what I teach my clients is, depending on your goals, we're looking at 1 to 3 hours a day. Anywhere from 1 to 3 hours a day. Maybe you do 20 minutes on Facebook and then you switch and you go over to Instagram and you give that 20 minutes and then you switch back, right? And so what we do is we just kind of organize our time. In the morning, we might go over and answer a bunch of questions in 3, 5, 6 different groups really quickly, spend a total of 20 minutes. And then we head over to Instagram. By the time we're done Instagram, we have a whole bunch of people asking questions and asking us additional information in those posts we commented on. We have a bunch of friend requests flooding in. And when people hit our Facebook profile, they're seeing my Facebook group everywhere. It's in the banner, it's all over. And now they're requesting to join the group. And that's that organic reach. It's one effort that brings in multiple results, and then you can take it from there. And here's the beautiful thing about what we teach. Everything that I'm talking about here right now with you, Amber, this is a delegatable system. So let me give you an example. Sydney, again, is here. She's my social seller community manager. And let me just let you know, the things I'm teaching you right now, I don't do anymore. Sydney does them. 100% delegatable. She can do them. She can nurture, she can grow the audience, she can nurture them, and she can convert them. Like, it's that simple, right? I don't have to do that. Once you get this down, you get it right off your plate. 90% of your sales and marketing is now taken over by somebody else. Okay, and the principles are the same on any platform. You can use this on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, any new platform that comes out. Strategies and principles are the same. You might just have to tweak it a little bit depending on what platform you're on. Does that make sense?
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Does it give you a little bit of focus of like, okay, I could do that. I could join 3 to 5 groups. I could go in and spend 20, 30-minute increments 2, 3 times. When I was a single mom and had a toddler, I had an hour a day to do this. And what I did is I did 20 minutes in the morning, and then I'd do 20 minutes when he was napping, and then I'd do 20 or 30 minutes at the end of the day, right? And it does give time for things to populate and marinate anyway throughout that little bit of time. So you're not like answering as soon as people put a question in. You batch your time. And I think if you did that for anywhere from 1, 2 to 3, depending on your goals, how quickly you want to ramp it up, this is part of a system that we teach in our very high level program, where our clients hire social sellers and they're having multiple 6 and plus launches doing this. So it's a perfect system. You just got to stick to it.
Yeah, and I just want to edify what Anna's saying, and she covers this in her program and she explained it perfectly, but it is just realizing, Amber, hey, I'm in the business building phase, so I need to be focusing on talking to people. So, and Anne, I'm going rogue here, but maybe your content, and I think Anne teaches this as well. So if you have to choose between content and talking to people, throw out content and talk to people. If that's what it takes. If, hey, I only have a couple hours, I'm a mom, I'm busy, conversation is always going to come before. So where are my people at? How can I consistently get in front of them and talk to them is everything. So Anne said that perfectly. And that's what she teaches in her program, kind of that step-by-step, like, okay, she'll help you. Where are my people? How do I get in front of them? Kind of that nitty-gritty step-by-step how to, but that's the principle of it. Where are my people? How can I consistently get in front of them? And then eventually when you're, bringing in clients, how can I create a system to pass this off? So I'm focusing on my clients and somebody else is doing that kind of in the trenches work. So Anne explained that perfectly, but in her program, she teaches that step-by-step customizable outreach and communication with your ideal clients.
100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. And it is a system, right? It is a system. It's a very rinse, repeatable, and delegatable system. So you might start now, like Sydney said, each one of you have to look at how much time do I have right now to put into the business to reach the goals that I'm trying to reach? What's the best use of my time? Because if you guys, like some of you are putting out a lot of content, right? But if you're putting out a lot of content and the bank is down here, we have a big, big problem. We actually want you to put out less content, and we want to see the income, the ROI actually massively jump up and increase, right? Like the clients in my program come in around $5,000 a month. They're making about $5,000 a month. They're working 20, 30 plus hours a week. We actually shrink them down to about a max of 20 hours a week. We get them a social seller, and we actually bring them up to 20, 30, and 50,000 a month. And actually they're having 100K launches right now in 10 days and less. So what we're trying to do is just get you guys kind of following this system of like, this is the best use of my time. And like Sydney said, there's no strategy or amount of content that will ever trump connection. If you can pull someone in, we call this in my PE program, same day sales. How do you create same day sales? Conversations. If you can pull people in and genuinely get to know them and ask questions all about them and all about their goals and all about their business, you've got that conversation where it's a ping pong effect back and forth. When you do that, there's no amount or any piece of content that you're going to put out that's going to create that for you. So anytime we can do less of the other stuff, and I know this is opposite of what traditional marketers teach today, and that's why it works. And that's why we're so behind it, because anytime you can build a relationship, you can create a client for life. My clients who come into my program are with me anywhere from 2 to 5 years, you guys. Every single client, 2 to 5 years. That's a client for life. And they refer all their clients to me who are there for 2 to 5 years, versus not building any relationship and just funneling content and hoping that that's going to get the sale, right? So less content, more human to human connection and conversation. You're not only going to get sales faster, same day, but you're going to see that you're creating clients for life. You're creating people who actually really, truly believe in what you do, and they want to help you get that out there. Right? Does that make sense, Amber? Is that helpful?
That's perfect. Thank you.
You are so welcome. I'm glad that was helpful. Another really good question. Everyone over on Facebook seems to be loving this, and I'm going to jump into the comments here in just a minute. I'll make sure I get to all of the other questions. Bonnie, you are up if you want to jump in. I know you have a live seat question. There we go. Let's get you in here and unmute you. Hi, Bonnie. How are you?
Good morning, Anne. Nice to be with you. I'm good.
So happy you're here.
Thank you. I've been writing notes, really scribbling as fast as I can.
Got a whole bunch of notes.
You're a very fast talker.
I am a fast talker, guys. I have so much to share in a little bit of time, and I want to get it all out. We'll make sure you get the replay too, Bonnie, if you want to go back. And anybody who needs the replay, will get it to you guys.
Thank you.
Yes. What is your question, Bonnie? I think you have something, you have like a pop-up workshop going on, right?
Yes. Yes. I have a pop-up workshop going on, and I have been my own lead generating magnet. So I've been just hitting up everybody I know, sending DMs, sending messages, sending emails, just trying to get people to come into a conversation with me about this pop-up workshop that's going to last for the next, it's really more of a group program than a workshop. But,
is it free or paid?
Paid.
Okay. So you're trying to find out, how can I get my audience, my leads to come into this paid workshop? Tell me how it's going. You're having conversations, you're sending emails, you're putting out posts. How's that going?
It's going good. So far I have 2 people, and I just started on Monday.
That's awesome. That's good.
Yeah. So what's the word I'm looking for? It's tending to be people I've worked with in the past, and I'm wanting to get some new people in and then be able to raise my prices. And I know I can raise my prices anytime. The reason I did the pop-up was I really just wanted to get some good, fun, exciting energy started at the beginning of the year. Not only for me, but for these people that I'm serving, and give them a big impact to get going, because we're coming out of such a tough year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so boom, 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 let's go, let's get excited, let's be in a group together. I'm doing all that. So I've been doing a lot of lives, and I always have like what I'm going to say when I do my live, but then I always get off track. I go down a rabbit hole and I digress. And what I find that I do is, because this used to be the old way of doing business before all of this online stuff came on, I've been coaching for 16 years, is I tend to go into the how and the what they're going to get rather than the transformation. So I've really been trying to, if you're looking to that, right? But then I digress into, here's what we're going to do. And so there's so much to learn on this online sales business.
There is. And you just want to be gentle with yourself, right? Because it is a learning process. And the thing that's really important to understand is we all make mistakes. I still make mistakes. I made a mistake this morning. I had to send Sydney the new link. I made a whole big mistake. It happens, right? Like, things happen. And so when you guys are learning, you have to be gentle with yourself in the process, that, hey, you know what? I'm not going to try to perfect it. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to master and perfect everything the first time. I need to be gentle with that. the other thing too, really thinking about, so you have this workshop, it's paid. I love the intention behind it. I think it's such a good thing because yes, it was a crazy year and people are really looking for some kind of like outlet from all of that, right? So let me ask, so how long is this workshop? What are you charging?
It's 3 months and I'm charging $8.95 for it, which I know is ridiculously low.
Okay.
But
it's a starting point.
After Christmas, people spending more money, you know, I was just trying, like I said, trying to get some momentum. My 3-month one-on-one coaching runs at $2,500.
Perfect.
So for a group program, it's a little on the low side, but I think it's low enough that people are like, yeah, I can do this even though it's after Christmas.
Yeah, and I also want to give a mindset shift that people will invest lots of money all year long. We've had our biggest, best launches. I mean, you know, Debbie, right? Obviously, my client Debbie isn't she your mentor, right? You work with Debbie?
I do. I've known Debbie for 24 years, so we're friends on top of it. But yes, I'm learning a lot. Yeah, she is.
Okay, so she's killing the launches. We're teaching her, killing it. It's ridiculous. And she's doing this all during everything that's been going on, right? And she had her doubts along the way. She had her little trials and little like, oops, and she still blew it out of the park. She just kept taking that in perfect action. And I think one of the things that I teach my clients is we really don't want to give away the how. So we really want to teach people, here's what I help you do, and here's why it is so important and why I believe in it so much. And here's why I think it is something you should explore. And then the how is in your program, right? If you want to learn how to do this, I have spots open. I would love to extend an invitation if you want this experience. Now, I always call it an invitation because it is strictly just an invitation. I am telling you, I would like to invite you to something. It is 100% up to you if you want to come or not. And I don't hold hard feelings either way. It's not my decision. It's not up to me. So it is really just an invitation. So when I market, I say, guys, I want to extend an invitation. I have this open. It's for these people. We help you A, B, C, and X, Y, Z. I would love to extend this invitation if it's an experience that you would like to have. And then I leave it at that, right? It's really up to them. They might have questions, or they might say no, or they might say, oh my God, tell me more, or sign me up. And that's great. So we really want to focus on I don't want to say unsolicited advice. I think it's okay to coach people at times. But I think that when we go into a deeper level of the how, it's really out of placement, because if we look at it this way, we might not know you enough to really tell you how to go do it effectively. We can give you some basic general things, which is what I'm doing here today, but I can't go on a deep level specifically and be like, here's what I would do. I would say, listen, if you were my client, I might recommend something like this and this for you. But I really wouldn't be able to say without the full picture of what you got going on, because I don't want to steer you wrong. And I always say that, and people always appreciate that, right? So we want to just be very careful of like, listen, I'm an expert at what I do, but if I don't know you and I don't know what you got going on, I can't really tell you the how. I can tell you the what, and I can tell you absolutely why. But if you want the how, we got to come work together. You got to pay for that. People who pay attention. So we definitely need to make sure that we're getting people into making those types of decisions, because they're asking for a transformation. I can't give anyone a transformation without that level of connection, right? So I want you to think about that too. And I know, like, I think you remind me of me, Bonnie, because my mentors used to tell me, Ann, you give too much. You're giving so much that they can't get through they have so much to think about right now. And they have so many action steps that you just gave them to go do. And you don't even know if those are really going to work for them or what trouble they're going to come up with as they're doing those things. So like, you want to be a little more careful about how much, because you never want someone to be like, oh, I don't need help. She just gave me everything I need. I'll just go do that. And then boom, I don't need your help. And we actually don't want to set anyone up for failure. So we just want to be a little more mindful. And that's another way that helped me look at it, is like, ooh, it's actually a disservice to give too much like that. I'm not going to do that anymore, because I want to be in integrity, right? So I want to make sure that I'm not giving too much. It would be like a doctor diagnosing you over the phone and saying, here's what I want you to go do, and I've never met you in my life. right? It would be like, that's really unprofessional. You should probably meet me and do some checkups and stuff first, right? And connect. So we want to look at ourselves, kind of put that doctor hat on and be like, you know what? I need to investigate a little bit and we need to bring you in. And that's how we can help you. So that should help you. And then on the content side, like I've been mentioning throughout this, we really have to focus more on that transformation and less about features and bells and whistles and all the pretty things that, yeah, they sound good, but get the buy-in first. Get them to buy in first. You want them to say, oh my God, I love this. How do I get started? What would it look like to work with you? What would be the next step? I absolutely love this. And once you go over those details and they're like, oh my God, I need in, sign me up. You can say, absolutely. And listen, I want to let you know, we're going to start with ABC, right? That's where our core focus is going to be in the program. But if other things come up along the way, we're going to make sure you're taken care of. We're going to support you with those. And here's what you get. Now you can go into the features. This is what you're going to get, right? You got to get the buy-in first. It's sales psychology. I need to be bought in that this product is something, or this program is something I absolutely got to have. And if I'm already set on that, you're not going to change my mind. I'm set on it. It's kind of like going into the store and you're like, oh my God, this bag, I need this bag. I need this purse. It's so gorgeous. It's going to look so good on me. It's going to fit all my stuff so perfect. I'm buying the bag. And you get to the register. And now they say, hey, guess what? For $20 more or $50 more, we're actually throwing in matching shoes. You would be like, oh my God, bonus, right? Like totally cool. But if you walk in and they have the bag and then you're like looking at it and you're debating, do I want it? Do I need it? Would it match everything? Does it look good? Is it going to fit all my stuff? And then they come rushing over and they're like, oh, wait. Also, we're going to throw in shoes for extra. Now you're like, yeah, I'm not really sure. You got to let them get bought in first before we talk about other additional things we're going to give and do and that they have to do. Get them to buy into your program or product first, and then tell them about all the beautiful bells and whistles that they're also going to get. Does that make sense? Is that helpful, Bonnie?
It's very helpful, yes.
Is there any follow-up question that you have or anything specific? I want to make sure I answered everything for you.
No, like I said, it was so much. I was just, I had one question from the very beginning when you were talking to Hillary.
Oh, I think you put it in the chat too, right?
Yeah. So the IG leads, how do you entice them to the Facebook group or the,
Yep. So because IG is so DM friendly, we literally will jump in and be like, hey, Bonnie, super excited to be connected. I'm so happy to have you in my network. Listen, I am building a fantastic network over on Facebook in my free group of, women entrepreneurs who are blank, blank, blank. I would love to have you come over there and contribute and build connections and join us. And also, we're doing this free workshop, blah, 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 blah. Would you like the link to join? You can add in the workshop or not, but it's kind of like a direct invite. But notice that we really position it to their benefit. And that is the key when you guys are extending any free or paid invitation, is that you are extending it with a benefit for them. Otherwise, it's, hey, join my group. And people are like, why? There's a billion groups. I hate groups. I'm in so many. Why join yours? So what you want to do is get rid of all of that. And hey, we have this awesome group for these people who are doing this. And we'd love to have you come contribute and come connect with people and build your network. Now it's about them. Now they have a reason to join. And if you're doing like a free workshop or you're doing anything free coming up in your community, then you can add that in too as like, and we're also doing this, right? If you think that would be helpful, we are kicking that off next week. I think you would love it. We'd love to have you there and contribute and participate. So little things like that, anytime you can make something about the other person versus making it about yourself, is that, I mean, even down to our emails, I always say, I never say I always try to replace I with we, or like I might say, instead of in the emails, instead of saying, I wanted to invite you, I might say, wanted to jump in and invite you. I get rid of the I. We just need to practice taking ourselves out of the equation and making it about them. And anytime you do that, you're going to get a better response every time.
That's great. Thank you.
You're so welcome, Bonnie. You're so welcome. Perfect question. Okay, let's see. Do we Esther is Esther on? No, she's not on, I don't think. I think she might have had to cancel or she's not on. Okay, let me just look at chats and just see if there's any question. I'm gonna check Facebook and here. Let's see. Yeah, Shirley said, yes, I've been in groups, get in front of people based on Anne's system that she teaches. I'm a mom of 5 with a toddler, so my time is super limited. Yes, all of the systems that we teach you guys, everything we talk about in my free stuff, my paid stuff, it is about rents repeatable. It is not time consumable, and it's delegatable. As the business owner, you want to build systems you can get rid of, meaning give it all 100% to someone else. So the only thing I have to do in my company is get behind the video and get behind the mic and serve my team. And then obviously my clients, right? I serve not by myself, right? Inside of my program, we have a daily session with a different person every day, right? Like we literally have other experts teaching my clients and supporting them and coaching them and everything. Why? Because as the CEO, I can't do all that. I can't grow my audience, nurture my audience, sell to my audience, serve my clients, market, get featured. Like we can't do all that, nor should a CEO do that. So what you got to do is build out rents repeatable, timeless systems that can be applied to any social network in the world, because we never want to throw ourselves into one social platform. You want to make sure that whatever you do on Facebook, it could be used on any platform that comes out. The systems I teach in my program with my clients, you can use them on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. You can use them on the new one, Clubhouse. You can use them on YouTube, any platform. We are not like glued and boxed into just Facebook. And then you want to make it so they're delegatable. You can give them off to team. That way you can just be the CEO and continue to drive the vision, lead your team, and scale your company. Okay, let's take a peek. If there's any questions in the Facebook, we have lots of people streaming and watching over there. Let's see. Pony said, hi, Anne, there are just marketing bombs that you are throwing out. Well, thank you. I'm glad it was helpful. Victoria said, not needing the experience to charge a fee that reflects your value equals truth. Yep. Jesse said, do you use your business page or your personal? We do not use our business page. We focus on our personal profile, unless you're running Facebook ads. If you're running ads, well, then you need steady video and content, not a lot of content, just specific things rolling out over on your page so that there's content. Now, look at it this way. If you're going in groups, you're using your Facebook profile. So that's what people see. If you're running ads, you're using your business page. That's what people see. Business pages without ads are basically null and void, right? They don't have any engagement built in. There's really nothing happening over there. We are focusing on our profile page. Okay. All right, let's see. Yes, you're welcome, Abel. You're very, very welcome. Victoria said, can I get the replay too, please? Yes, we will send out a replay to you guys, but we will leave this in the Facebook group too. So if you're on my email list, I'm going to email this to you, but if you're in the group, the replay is going to get pinned to the top and we'll put it in the unit section. But anyone that needs a tag, my team will tag you. We'll make sure you get the replay of this. It's probably going to be worth listening to again because we went through so much. As we wrap up, guys, and close out, thank you so much for tuning in. I love the live sessions. We're going to do this again. So reach out to Sydney if anybody wants to be on the next one that we do. These are a lot of fun. We definitely want to do this again. In the meantime, if what we've been talking about here today, sales, marketing, lead gen, community management, social selling, signature program, doing a launch, everything that's rents repeatable and delegatable, if this is what you're looking to do and experience in 2021, I want to invite you to a free workshop. It is your signature profit launch workshop where we're going to break down over 5 days live. And actually we have a lot of bonuses. So it's really more than that, but we have lots of bonuses and we have 5 live days with you where we're breaking down the system. We have a launch workbook for you and we're covering the lead gen, the community management, the engagement, the sales part of it. We're covering all of these bases to help you guys really scale up your revenue, but in a simplified way in 2021 with a rents repeatable and delegatable set of systems. So if that is interested, you guys can comment below if you're on Facebook. Let us know if you are not registered for that yet. We will get you registered. If you are registered, we have bonuses this week. We have a session coming up tomorrow. We're going to show you how to double your revenue and decrease your efforts. And we're also got Saturday, the launch kickoff session. We have a lot coming up for you guys before we kick off live day 1 Monday. So let us know if you are not registered yet. Just comment below, register me. We'll get you all hooked up. You won't miss anything. If you're already registered, don't forget about your bonus sessions. If you need the workbook, comment workbook below. We'll make sure you get that. We'll hook you guys all up. If you need the bonus session links, let us know. And we will be seeing you guys over there this week. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys all really soon. All right, bye guys.